Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. I'm your host, Coach Tripp, along with Vinnie O'Connor, Syracuse boy. Vinnie, man, thanks for being on the show. You got your Syracuse shirt on?
From 19. And
oh, my gosh.
Mike Morris gave me this shirt, Joe's brother.
Joe Morris's brother, Mike gave it to you?
This was the sweater I had, but the shirt I lost, the orange one. And these were the actual team sweaters when they traveled. And the only reason
awesome. Yeah, I got some old.
I wanted to let Billy and those guys know that, see, mine still fits.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
That's right. Billy, man, he ain't lost any weight. I think Blaze lost some weight, but Billy hasn't lost any weight. Yeah. Folks, here at Coach's Corner, man, we try to inspire and educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, and the body to act. We're going to hear from Vinnie today and his amazing story. And he had a rough upbringing, but he came through and he persevered. Vinnie, are you retired now? What are you doing now?
Yeah, I'm retired. And I just do a little bit of stuff for the law firm I worked at. I traveled like a couple of weeks ago. I drove to Chicago and I drop off documents and clothes for the attorneys, set up war rooms, trials at King and Spalding Law Firm, great law firm. Griffin Bell was there. I took my wife with me. We made a little vacation out of it, so it was nice.
Oh, good. Yeah, mix a little pleasure with business. All right, Vin, we're going to start raw, man, from the beginning. You had a rough upbringing. Tell everybody about your story and how you overcome an abnormal childhood.
Well, I ended up, it started, I never really finished anything past the 4th grade. There was a lot of alcoholism in my family, like a lot of people. And so I was a runner. I told my wife last night when I was thinking about this, I said, I'm kind of the opposite of the blind side. Instead of a big black guy, I was a little white guy in the projects. So I was a runner, and I used to hang around Lemoyne College. We had a student teacher at school, at Seymour School, after I left St. Lucy's. And I went over there, and the teacher took us up to Lemoyne College to give us a tour of the campus, 5th grade. I never finished a grade. And I skipped school one day, and I went up there. First time I ever skipped in my life. And I went up there, and I started hanging around up there every day. I'd take the bus up from Gifford Street, and I'd go up to Lemoyne. I'd hang out, and I started going to the athletic center. And Tom Nyland, the AD, in Lemoyne for 25 years.
Right.
And Tom Cooney, great guy, coached Liverpool high school basketball. He coached the girls basketball and Lemoyne men's. And they kind of took me under their wing, and I started selling programs at the Lemoyne game for 10 cents, 15 cents, whatever they were back then. And, and skipping school. And then the next thing you know, couple of the students were wondering who the hell I was, because I was walking on campus all the time. And I went up to their room, and I ended up staying overnight a couple of times. Meanwhile, my whole family didn't even know where I was. I was 11 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
Back in the day, they didn't look for you like they would now. My God, there'd be a total search now with a helicopter,
Right.
Well, not for me, but most people. No, I'm just kidding. And I got to meet a lot of guys, a lot of athletes. And matter of fact, a good friend of yours that you might know, well, you might not know him, you know of him, you may know him, Carmen Basilio, the boxer.
Yeah, my dad was friends with him because my dad's Italian from that city. And everybody's proud of Carmen back then. Yeah. Well, the world heavyweight champion. Tell the story. Tell the story with you and Carmen.
Well, I was in the office. It's on my bio that I sent you, if you could pull it up, where Tommy verifies the story. This is all, by the way, that stuff I sent you is all from Coach Cooney of my perception when I was a kid. So those are not my work, because I'm doing a book and I'm doing a chapter at a time, and Tommy was contributing.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I told you I sent you that. We'll talk, because I'm going to have you help me with it, and we can both make some money from it. Oh, anyway, so I was in the office one day, and they were trying to figure out who I was, what was I doing at the AD office, because I was playing basketball, and Mr. Nyland, Dick Rockwell, the baseball coach, Tommy Cooney, brought me into the office, and Carmen was there, and they said, hey, do you want his autograph, Carmen Basilio? Now, I'm not going to cuss, okay? And it's a story. I did not believe that I didn't know nothing about boxing. I grew up on Gifford Street in James Geddes housing, okay?
Right.
So ours was baseball and basketball, because we couldn't afford, they did have a couple
equipment, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Going to the gym. We did have a big boxer in our neighborhood, Billy Harris. You heard, he used to train the kids for free, but I didn't know him at the time. So anyway, so I told Carmen he was effing full of shit, excuse me, and I didn't believe him. And it's in my bio that I sent you. And Tommy Cooney said, Vinnie O'Connor, he said, Carmen Basilio fought Sugar Ray Robinson, all these guys, and Vinnie
Vinny's the one and you're cussing out the world heavyweight champion.
I had no idea who he was. So, but then when I found out who Carmen was later on in life, I asked him for an autograph. I ran into him. He still talked to me. He was just Carmen. And I say, hey, Carmen, I want to get some picture autograph with you. And he goes, F you. Remember, you had your chance.
Oh my gosh.
So he sent me for the kid. He sent me some of the autographs, but it was just a funny story. But again, if you can read my bio and print it, you'll be able to read it better. That's in there. And anyway, so I kind of lived at Lemoyne. I was going to the dining hall. I went to class with him, a philosophy class, 11 years old, sitting there. And
oh my gosh.
And Tommy Cooney just recently told me, because we got laughing about it, and I said, Coach, because every year my little brother, who's the chief of police for the U.S. Mints, well, he just retired. He went to Lard and went in the Air Force. And every last game of the year, every game, right, I would sell the programs and take, I'd probably get, $15 back then or whatever, because the guy gave me a tip or whatever. And so every year at halftime, I would leave. I would run out with the money and get on the bus, go back to Gifford so I could steal. And Cooney just told me, I said, Coach, he goes, and I go, why'd you guys let me come back every year to sell programs? He goes, Mr. Nyland said, look, it's not that much money. The kids needs the money. Let them have the freaking money. Big deal.
Yeah.
So
yeah, right.
And I said to Coach, shit, I wish I would have told me that. I would have stole the money every game. Talk to Tom Cooney about the week. Which is
so how'd you get so growing up, what did you do? Did you just work there at Lemoyne College for?
I did that, and then I got in trouble, and then obviously the courts got involved because I was a young guy skipping school.
Right.
And I went to family court, and there was a lot of physical abuse and alcoholism in my family.
Right.
And I don't talk to this day, so that's okay because and Billy knows my family. He works for my cousin at the liquor store.
Right.
So
right.
I talked to them guys, just the immediate family. Not a big deal. Yeah. So Carmen and all those guys, I went to family court. Coincidentally, my wife is related to the judge that sent me away. They sent me to Schenectady Children's Home.
Okay.
To try to, help me out. And by the way, so and I'm going to give a plug to this because this is important. Not to the children's home. That's gone. But what I mean by a lot of kids, when they're sent away, and this is very important since you're talking about helping people, what happens is sometimes when they blame the kid for being a punk or this and that, but sometimes it's just the family dynamics.
Right. Absolutely.
What I've learned. And there's a place in North Georgia called Eagle Ranch, and Vince Dooley helped founded it. And actually, George O'Leary is a great contributor to them too. He steps to them. He knows about it.
Oh, wow. Dooley started it. Vince Dooley started it.
A guy named Eddie Stobbs. You should look it up. Eagle Ranch, Chestnut Mountain, Georgia. Great place. And they don't get any federal money. So that's the key. What they want.
Yeah. Same thing in Alabama. Hey, Vinny, same thing in Alabama. John Croyle, one of Coach Bryant's favorite players, told him not to go to the NFL to start this boys ranch. And he's been helping. Yeah, he's been helping the boys ranch. John Croyle has for decades. Hundreds of kids like you that he helped get on his feet. That's the same thing. It's the same thing in Georgia, right?
Correct. You should look. Eddie played baseball for Auburn, the guy that started it with Vince Dooley. There's a book about it. Eddie just retired. He does. Yeah, look it up. It's a beautiful place.
Okay.
And George backs it, and Dooley backed it. And when they back it, when they're going against Tech in Georgia, that's a big deal. They hate each other.
Right.
Damn, all that.
Yeah.
So my point is, George helps it a lot. They get a lot of the NFL. Timmy Green went up there a lot. Doug Marone went up there when they all coached or played at different schools.
Right.
But Eddie's father-in-law played in the AFL. That's how they got the connection. But I don't remember the name. But anyways, and it's right near the Falcons training camp. So Arthur Blank and everybody helps support it. They go over there.
Oh, wow.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
And my son, my son went there. But, when we got up there, I'm thinking, they're going to straighten him out, right? Guess what I found out, Paul? They had to straighten me out, the family dynamics.
Wow. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting, Vinny.
But it was the best that ever happened to me in my life.
Right.
And that me deal with some stuff because I was molested by one of the priests when I was a kid.
Right. And you had a lot of childhood shame issues. Yeah, exactly. Unprocessed trauma.
I didn't get paid enough money, but I got paid. Yeah. I got like $1,000,000. I tell everybody I should have got $1 million because I never finished school because of it. ADD, all that. I tell everybody I got duh. They go, what's duh? I said, ADD with dyslexia. But anyway, I'm joking. I'm sorry. But anyways, I deal with it. And I've married a beautiful woman who's a nurse. Yeah. We got 3 boys.
Wow.
Great. 2 of them live right near me. One has his own commercial refrigeration business. The other one's an estimator for coring. And the other one.
Wow.
So my kids have done great.
Oh, you stopped the generational, Vin. You stopped the generational abuse, bro.
There you go. And
yeah, and you did.
I love Syracuse football. I love it.
All right. Let's talk about Syracuse football.
Real quickly. I had to get out of the city though, but football was awesome.
All right, let's talk about Syracuse and how you got up there and became a cook and became involved in the serving the coaches and the players in your relationships with those guys.
I was living in Albany, New York, and I got sober. I've been in AA for a while, and I got sober. And somebody wanted to hook me up with a job because I was cooking in an Italian restaurant in Albany, and they said, "Hey, we can get you a job at the Carrier Dome," and And then I guess it was under Maloney. I think it was, or I'm not positive, but that's 1980. Don't forget, that's a while ago. I think it was under Maloney, but because of I had to go wash dishes at Kimmel Dining.
1980. Yep, it was Frank. That was Frank Maloney.
Right. Yep. So then, and I did training table. Then I would do training table to make overtime. And then so they brought me on as the head guy because Jimmy Tressel was up there. We talk about it once in a while. I can't believe Tressel still remembers the woman that was my supervisor in 1980.
Oh my God! Did he really, Coach Tressel? You call him Jimmy. You call him Jimmy Tressel. I call him Coach Tressel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, everybody laughed. They go, "The guy's 71. You still call him Jimmy?" Well, I still call Timmy Green.
Yeah, me too. Timmy's always Jimmy.
Yeah, and I always call Doug Marone Dougie.
Did you?
Yeah, still do. Because he gives me tickets when he comes in and gets me on the field. So that's nice for that relationship.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, so I got up there and I started cooking for the team. Coach Matt came in, obviously. And Coach Matt kept Ivan Fairs and Coach O'Leary. Those were the only 2 guys that Coach Matt kept out of all that.
Right.
And brought in Wojcik and all those guys. Mike was right. A great show with Mike. That was
thanks. Yeah, my Coach Wojcik. Yeah, what a charm he is, man.
I reached out to him after the show. So.
Oh yeah.
Because I got my hat on, and we're going up to the Marcus Paul tournament June 2nd.
Oh yeah, June 2nd, Marcus Paul. Talk a quick second about that.
Tuscarora Country Club, June 2nd. Mike's in charge of it now, and he raises the money, and it goes to scholarships. And Paul Fraze told me that they named his field after Paul. Anyways, he had the stroke. I mean, the aneurysm. You guys know all that.
Yeah.
So
Billy should play in that. Billy's a hell of a golfer.
He's going to do it. He said he's going to do it this year.
Yeah.
He's going to team up with Wojcik since Wojcik came on the podcast. He said that.
How good.
So Blaze went up a couple of years ago, but I don't know if he golfed. I don't think Blaze golfed. So I think he just went up.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But anyways, big names go up there. Rob Drummond was up there, I guess. A lot of big guys. A lot of names.
So number 44 obviously is famous in Syracuse.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you had Ernie Davis, Jim Brown, Floyd Little. God, man.
I think that they gave that number, and I'm not mistaken. And don't quote me on every exact thing because I could be wrong. But we had Glenn Moore, the one Bernard was talking about last week that brought in the guy. He ended up marrying Glenn's cousin, by the way. He didn't mention that. But anyways, I think he was number 44, but Glenn could run the ball. He played on the same high school team as Mike Rozier. Glenn was fast.
Wow.
But
wow.
Didn't make grades at the school. And God bless him, he passed away, Glenn. He had diabetes.
Hey, were you there when Joe Morris was running the ball?
Oh, yeah. That's where I got. That was my first year.
Man, how good was Joe Morris? Just a low center of gravity, vision, balance.
Not only that, he was even seen him with the Giants. The dude was strong.
Yeah, he was strong. Yeah.
God. And then LT even talked. Remember when he played in the Super Bowl and he led the league in touchdowns his first rookie year? I think. Don't quote me on the year, but I know he did. But that's when the whole Morris family is awesome. Larry, Mike, Joe, great people.
Where are they from? Where are they from?
Massachusetts, someplace.
Massachusetts?
Yeah. Then Jamie, creep. I like the kid. I'm just kidding. He went to Michigan, but he, they put the mats on the wall at the bottom of the Carrier Dome because Joe ran so hard he hit the wall and he hurt himself and he was out. That's a true story. Ask Coach O'Leary about that. When George told me the story. So,
oh man, let's tell an O'Leary story because when I was coaching high school here, Vinny, O'Leary would come up from Central Florida, and he actually got 3 guys from our high school over the years. But he came up and it's hard to get George laughing, right? But he was sitting around with our head coach and some other coaches, and our head coach would tell him, Coach O'Leary, Coach Tripoli tells more stories about you than he does Bear Bryant. And he got a kick out of that, Vinny.
One time we were doing training table, another guy that played named Wes Dove. Wes played for the Seahawks. He was my roommate. He killed himself when he was playing for the Seahawks, and I think it was CTE 25.
Yeah, right.
I'm at training table, and I used to sit down with those guys after they were served and shoot the shit with them. Coach Mack always bumped cigarettes from me because he didn't want his wife to know he smoked. And George would get practice. You know how he is. And rightfully so, by the way. And then he'd get off. These guys don't hustle at all. He's talking to me like I'm a coach. Hey, Vin, these guys don't hustle. Unbelievable. He goes, these guys don't even realize I got a freaking mortgage to pay. That's what he'd say. Out there in Bayberry. So,
hey, if you can blend the craziness of Jamie Kimmel,
oh my God,
Timmy's compulsion for books and reading in school and everything, right, and Blaze with his own issues, and Billy with his crazy Mongo fun-loving attitude. I was telling Billy this the other day. How did you keep all those guys in order, man? No wonder O'Leary was on their ass all the time. They were so different. All of them were so different.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Jamie Kimmel, when I used to cook steaks outside to order, I'd bring them, that's 100. You got to realize 7-8 years cooking with those guys, 140 guys. I can't remember everybody. That's a whole different ball.
Yeah, it's impossible.
And even the coaches, like George, he don't remember everybody, but he knew the defensive guys, which makes sense. So, and you know that. So Jamie Kimmel and his brother Jerry, now I call them the Bell Brothers, Ding and Dong. I'd never say it to their face because they'd kill me because they're strong and crazy. But Jamie used to come up, hey, Ben, come over here. Look at this. The meat still got the whip marks in it, like from the horse. And Jerry was more subdued and quiet, but Jamie was fun. And I would have probably the most athletic of the 4. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, you're right. Billy talks about that too. Have you met Coach Fran? Have you met Coach Fran Brown?
No, but I hope to meet him in June.
Oh yeah,
because we met. I go to a lot of Georgia games because my son loves the Bulldogs, so I go there. And so I'm hoping this year when he goes up. Last time I went, the other coach came to the thing, so I'm hoping Fran goes, and I'm sure he will because I think this use players, alumni to get other players, and he does that well, I think. And I think that was one of the big things missing with Coach Babers. You got to use the alumni, man.
Hey, Vinny, who other coach helped you when you were there at Syracuse? How did you meet your wife? And because I think nurses are the nicest people on the planet, man. Nurses are, right? Because they're other centered.
She lived downstairs from me, and I moved out, and then I met her through a crisis in her family. It was in the paper. And I called her to send my condolences. Her brother got killed in a train accident. He worked on a railroad. So I called to send my condolences. She didn't even remember who the hell I was. And then we got talking. Well, I got fired from Syracuse the first time, just so you know that. But I did go back there to work. I got fired. Did you? Well, Coach Mack, I like Coach Mack. Don't get me wrong. Same as George says. I like him a lot. Matter of fact, he helped me a little bit, but he hurt me a little bit.
Right.
He didn't, not on purpose, not on purpose. Coach Mack was, he had more, he was like a fart in a windstorm. He had everything going on all over the place. And he, and he a GA, grad assistant. The girl needed a job. His wife, the guy was married. And so they hire her to be my boss. And I'm like, what? I've been doing this for years. And then she's coming in trying to tell me what to do. It got kind of sticky.
Yeah.
It was okay that she did that, but, shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But anyways, but real quick about Timmy Green and Blaze and Billy. I really want to talk about this real quick because I wrote a note on it. Timmy Green, more than anybody on that team. He would come back for a second piece of 16, 18 ounces of prime rib or steak. Billy Pendock ate good a lot. Blaze was the slowest eater on the team. He would eat after everybody was gone because
that's because he was talking most of the time. That's why.
Yeah, well, he just really took time. Yeah, but a lot of the guys went to study hall, and Blaze was still. And then so Blaze was on one side, and then Coach Mack was on the other. Like I said, I hung out with Coach Mack a lot. But I really like Clarence Brooks, good man. Clarence died. He played for, he coached with Baltimore. He had cancer himself. Bubba Grimes, Roland Grimes. Did you ever hear of Roland? He died. Good man. And I went to Bible study with Bernard, Roland, Bubba Grimes.
Did you? Did you go to Bible study with those guys?
Yeah, Paul Jewell. And I brought a girl from the secretary that was my secretary for all our ordering food, and she stayed with it and ended up marrying a guy not in the program, not in the Bible study program, Bible study. And she's been ever since. And Paul Jewell did do a great job. We had Jimmy Rooney, who had a blood clot. He had to do brain surgery. He died on the heart stop, brought him back. That's when I met him the next day at the hospital. Jimmy still came to training table. But anyways, I've been friends with him ever since. We were room. What I like about my thing with Syracuse, my connection, I'll sum this up, and I don't mean to be drifting, but I just want to give those guys credit because they're great guys to me. And I'm still friends. And I like the fact that I talked to George. I gave Billy George's number at one time. Jimmy Rooney, all these guys. Bernard even called George one time. George likes that because he doesn't sit around and read. I don't care what he says. He misses it. And he may not.
Yeah, he misses. Yeah, he misses the connection. He likes to hear from his players, man. I talk to him once in a while. I'm sure he talks to Timmy. He's probably been on Timmy's podcast. Nothing left unsaid is Timmy's podcast.
He hasn't been on his podcast.
Oh, he hasn't?
No, Troy's trying to get him on.
Why not?
You're going to have to ask George. I know why. No, I'm serious. I think it's more of a personal reason, so I don't want to share that. Because
is it really?
Yeah, seriously. You can ask me. There's nothing bad.
He comes on my show and gives me shit. Everybody on the show. Shit.
All right. He doesn't like seeing Tim. It's hard for him to deal with Timmy in that condition.
Okay. I understand. It's hard for him to see him.
Yeah. All the talking. But he does go see Timmy. He goes down to Florida because Timmy's got a place down there.
All right, one more person I want to talk about, Paul Fraz.
Paul Fraz, yeah. Did you see the book? I sent a copy. I sent you that last
night. But tell everybody about his story in the book.
His story, he had a son that had some sort of disorder, and he couldn't walk, or he very communicative, never walked in his life. Paul took his money, from what I understand, a lot, and put a lot of time into his son. Paul literally took his son. You ready for this? Went to school with his son every day, brought him in a van, walked the kid. His son couldn't walk. Paul took him from class to class on a gurney so he could go.
Whoa, Paul Fraz was a great defensive lineman for Syracuse, 10-year NFL vet.
Correct. And he played for the Jets. He played for the Packers, which I told you. He played for Coach, what's his name down there in Jacksonville?
Down in Jacksonville.
Yeah, and Paul's really. I see him. He's coming to the Syracuse Clemson game September 20th in Clemson, Lake Kiwi. We get a lake house up there. I was going to invite George. I invite Billy every year. By the way, you're welcome to come. A lot of guys come. It's awesome.
Where is it at? Up in Georgia?
Yeah, it's at Clemson, South Carolina, right on the border, not far from you.
Oh wow, man! I've been wanting to go up there and see Georgia for years, man. We're not getting any younger, Vinny. I want to go see Coach O'Leary one more time.
Well, we're going to try to go, but we're going to also This house is huge. Everybody's got their own bathroom, their own bedroom, and they got a lake view. And we all cook. Peter Ewald comes, Phrase comes. It's
wow!
And you're welcome to come.
Wow, that is cool.
And then we go.
I'm not great.
I'm sorry. And we're 15 minutes from the stadium.
My gosh! Holy cow!
Last year, Phil Cox came. Phil Cox.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, in my family, that's how it all started. But anyways, real quick before I forget, I really did write some notes here because I forget. And there was a guy named Carmen Avella that was one of and Johnny Gandino. They would cook and we would transport the food to the place until we built the kitchen on the end of the Manly Fieldhouse. We have a kitchen there now at Manly.
Wow.
And that makes me mad because I left in the middle of that and some guy paid a lot of money. And I said the Phrase and all the, how come the guy didn't put my freaking name on it? You know, that it is. I'm just, so, because Tally up there, Tally donated a lot of money. John
So
Tally.
when you left Syracuse, when did you leave Syracuse?
Oh, I don't remember the year. It was the year. They went 11-0-1 that year.
Oh, did they really?
That's the year they went to the Sugar Bowl and tied with Auburn.
With a McNabb?
88. I went back to work at Syracuse for 2 years after I left. After all that. Back, yeah. And then I got me back in. Anyways, I was back in food service. I was back in with it. But I look at myself, and I was talking to my wife about this last night. I feel more like a concierge to these guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, serving concierge, a little bit of everything, friend, confidant, drinking buddy, whatever.
Yeah, but I just feel
except for drinking buddy, right? You didn't drink anymore.
No, I was the designated driver.
yeah, that's it.
But
I know I quit drinking about 7 years ago, Vin. So I've been the designated driver ever since.
I hate that because you get the obnoxious guys. Not so much anymore. You know how when they're all drunk in the back, fussing and yelling at you, acting like a jerk.
You realize how stupid we acted when we were drinking.
There you go.
Thanks, Vin. Hey, man, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your service to Syracuse, and thank you for your story. Thank you for breaking the cycle of generational alcoholism and abuse. You got a beautiful family and a great story. Thanks, Vin.
Hey, I just wanted to do a shout out to Carmen Avella, who was in the background. I mentioned it to you earlier, and I wrote all these names down, including Wes. Wes was living with us. Jimmy Rooney lived with me. Blaze lived with me. A lot of guys roomed with me. But Carmen Avella, please, at the mailroom at Syracuse, he transferred out of food service. His wife just passed away at 53. She had cancer, and I told him.
Shout out to him, man. Our prayers and thoughts for him.
Please. Every day, he's Italian. You know how that is. Carmen
Paisan, Paisan. Prayers to the Paisan.
Yeah. So every day he goes, Vin, I cry every day, and I go to the cemetery every day.
Yeah. It's sad, man. It's so sad.
He was part of that, and also all guys. So they're all good guys. One guy, I'll let you go because I know you got to go. But one of the football players, won't say who it is. I doing a lot of charity work with CASAs. Okay, court advocate, special assistant with foster kids. I'm very involved. Actually, you know who else is involved in that is the coach at Tampa Bay that resigned. He lives down there, George, at Lake Oconee. Who is it?
Does he?
Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians.
Oh, Coach Arians lives down there.
He lives in the same subdivision as George.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, and they have a golf tournament every year for CASA. And his wife's very involved. If you noticed on the sides of his spikes when he was coaching, it said on the side. He put it on there.
Whoa, man! I would love to have Coach Arians on. You know, he was at Alabama when I was there. Coach Bruce Arians was. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You got to get a hold of George. Knows him. You got to reach out.
Okay. All right. I'll get a hold of George.
Anyways, isn't that cool? But anyways, Carmen just needs your prayers because I'm really worried about him.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks, buddy.
All right. I hope it ain't.
Prayers are for him. Yeah. Thanks, V. Thanks for doing this, man.
If you ever need anything, Paul, reach out.
Thanks, buddy. We'll keep in touch. Thanks, Vin.
All right. God bless.
God bless. Wow, that was great. Vinnie O'Connor, man, worked his way up, Syracuse, be a server, and was a confidant to a lot of the players, friends of a lot of the players, best man at some of their weddings. Unbelievable. What a great story of redemption and perseverance. And God is great for stopping that family. abuse in their family. So thanks for watching Coach's Corner, everybody. Here in Coach's Corner, we try to inspire and educate everybody to, be a good person, be a good coach. We want to thank Vinny. Have a great sports weekend, everybody. We stay tuned for these important messages. Without these great sponsors, this just wouldn't be possible. So long, everyone.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at HillKellyDodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.
Hey, Pensacola, are you ready for the madness? Join us at Bubba's 33 all during the NCAA tournament for some great fun. There will be busted bracket giveaways, basketball bingo, food and drink specials, and a whole lot more. Catch all of the games on one of our 54 TVs or create your own team watch party. Bubba's 33 at the corner of Davis and Creighton, the home of March Madness.
Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray, and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
25 years of service in high tech today. It's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. High tech is a term often applied to advanced services and products in today's marketplace. And today, glass is much more than a simple pane of brittle, see-through stuff we hit baseballs through when we were kids. Glass is now a product with unique flexibility in both performance and application. And Pensacola Glass Company is growing right along. That's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. 75 years of